You know what I expect of you both, okay? Obey my commands at all times. Keep the fight clean. Protect yourself at all times, boys. Right, shake hands.
But one that we feel could steal the show. Two of the leading 154-pound men collide. Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Israil Madrimov putting it all on the line to see the best fighting the best.
Absolutely, Adam, it really is. Was expecting from Ortiz Jr. physical strength, you could say, onto Madrimov. We know how well scored Madrimov is. Ripped up the script. Everyone thought he may. We see there the heavy hands from the Uzbek.
No, it really was. No, he just so sublime movement. The way how well he picks his punches, which is long. So some of that upper body movement might be negated by the solid.
Vergil Ortiz Jr., a 7-time U.S. national champion, entered the ring carrying the aura of an undefeated young star at just 22 years old. Known as a vicious body puncher, he doubles up his left hand beautifully, targeting both head and body with equal menace. The opening round was close, with neither fighter really letting their hands go, but Ortiz's presence was clear. Every mistake his opponent made came with the threat of a punishing counter. Across from him, Israil Madrimov, with nearly 300 amateur fights to his name, showed why he's considered such a seasoned technician. Early on, he used smart defense, upper body movement, and sharp footwork to frustrate Ortiz, keeping him just out of range. While Ortiz stalked like a hunter, Madrimov danced, making him think and forcing him to reset. It was a cagey, tactical beginning, with both men feeling each other out. Madrimov started brightly, landing clean scoring shots and showing the composure that comes from his vast experience. He needed to stay busy, keep those feet moving, and continue using angles to blunt Ortiz's pressure. Still, there was a sense that the pace would only increase as the rounds wore on. By the midway point, the aggression of Ortiz began to show, particularly when he trapped Madrimov in the corner, digging in with his trademark body shots. But the fight was already leaving its mark. Ortiz showed swelling under his left eye. Madrimov's clever distance control and constant head movement were making Ortiz miss more than usual. The key for Ortiz was to cut off the ring more effectively and stop following Madrimov around. For Madrimov, the task was to maintain his sharpness, keep frustrating the Texan, and try to sap the energy from Ortiz's legs by forcing him to chase. When Ortiz did manage to pin him down, though, those brutal combinations downstairs hinted at just how dangerous he can be if the fight becomes a battle of attrition. Ortiz Jr. just can't seem to establish his jab yet. Madrimov's constant movement is making him a difficult, never-static target. At 154 pounds, when the head is elusive, you aim for the chest or the shoulder spots that don't slip out of range as easily. Those shots can slow a fighter's movement, knock him off balance, or at the very least, build confidence. Madrimov, though, is doing an excellent job of nullifying threats, using his eyes, hands, and feet in unison. His intelligence is shining through in the early rounds, while Ortiz can't quite find the timing to land cleanly. A crisp right hand from Madrimov scored again, and Ortiz still hasn't been able to get into rhythm. It's worth remembering that Ortiz was down a couple of times in his last outing, and now, under the bright lights with Terence Crawford widely regarded as pound-for-pound number 2 and Oleksandr Usyk, arguably number 1, watching from ringside, the pressure feels even higher. This WBC interim super welterweight title fight live on DAZN has already produced a strong start for Israil the Dream Madrimov, who's clearly taken control in the first 6 minutes. Ortiz, for his part, landed 2 stiff jabs to the body, showing flashes of what he needs to do. The midsection is the one area that can't slip and slide as easily, and against a mover like Madrimov, single punches won't cut it. He needs to double up, throw in combinations, and commit with the front foot. What Ortiz can't afford is to fall too many rounds behind. Chasing the fight in the later stages would force mistakes, and Madrimov has the stamina to capitalize. The plan has to be urgency without recklessness, and a way to pin down the Uzbek star before the fight slips away on the scorecards. Ortiz is trying to force the pace, hoping the pressure eventually takes its toll. He's shown in past battles like his thrilling fight against Egidijus mean machine Kavaliauskas that he has the grit and the engine to wear opponents down. With solid wins already on his record over Michael McKinson and Maurice Hooker, Ortiz brings pedigree, but against someone as calm, composed, and adaptable as Madrimov, every mistake can be punished. Madrimov stays cool in rhythm, doubling up, on shots, sometimes even baiting with a lazy jab just to counter hard with the right hand. He's got real power, too, 10 wins with multiple knockouts to prove it, and his versatility makes him dangerous at any range. He's already dug in some sharp rights to the body, reminding Ortiz he has more than one way to score. The atmosphere inside the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh only adds to the occasion. The venue feels purpose-built for big-time boxing, every seat, offering a clear view reminiscent of the intimacy of York Hall in London's Bethnal Green, but on a grander world-class scale. Back in the ring, Ortiz begins inching closer, trying to cut the ring off. Madrimov is still elusive on his feet, but Ortiz finally lands some meaningful shots, including a solid left hand followed by heavy work to the body. With that trademark mean look on his face, the Texan pushes forward, putting pressure on Madrimov. In the corners, the kind of spots where he does his best work. This was a better round for Ortiz, showing flashes of rhythm and menace. The body shots were starting to land, though perhaps not enough to steal the frame outright. Still, it was progress, and a reminder of the danger he carries when he gets into range. And ringside, adding more star power to the night, sat Chris Eubank Jr., a smooth figure whose rivalry with Conor Benn continues to fuel headlines. As we moved into round 5, there was plenty of anticipation for what lay ahead in this winter-to-spring stretch of big fights. Vergil Ortiz Jr. pressed forward against Israil Madrimov, who, though less experienced as a professional, brought with him a wealth of amateur pedigree. Madrimov had the better of the early rounds, but Ortiz responded well here, applying more intelligent pressure. The fighters even tangled feet a few times, each looking to establish position, while Robert Garcia barked instructions from Ortiz's corner. Ortiz found success with a hard right hand to the body, forcing Madrimov to stand his ground and trade, more often. It was exactly what observers had been calling for Ortiz being busier, letting his hands go. Madrimov, for his part, kept busy with single and double shots, using angles to keep Ortiz honest. Still, blood began to flow from Ortiz's nose as Madrimov landed another sharp right hand, reminding him of the danger. Ortiz did answer back with an uppercut that whistled just past Madrimov's chin, showing flashes of his own offensive rhythm. The pace lifted as both men upped the intensity. Ortiz's defense tightened, his hands held high, but Madrimov looked for openings with clever screw shots and bodywork. Ortiz replied with pot shots to the head and a thudding double left to the body, forcing Madrimov to cover up. The Texan's confidence was growing as he slipped inside and dug to the midsection, exactly the kind of intelligent pressure his corner had asked for. Madrimov, though, remained composed, circling with his sharp footwork and ring IQ. His movement and ability to create space showed